Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and bots. Welcome into, spoilers, welcome into twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham Day, and I'm joined by the man that we call BB. I'll read.
Hello.
See, it's interesting because I can do that now. When I had RTX voice on, RTX is good at getting rid of background noise. So I have my fan on behind me. You might be able to hear that. I apologize if you can. But RTX gets rid of that. You just hear the voice. It's nice. If there's anyone in the garden, any windscreen people coming in cleaning windows, like yesterday, a window washer dude, it gets rid of that. It's fine. But it also gets rid of my voice when I do baby. So you get, swings and roundabouts. But you get all of that knowledge. Anyway, welcome in. How is everyone doing? We did have a little bit of bot spam to begin with, trying to sell us followers and stuff, but we don't need that. We don't need that. Ban. There was another one. It looked like it was banned on mine, but it isn't there. But anyway, welcome in. How is everyone doing? How is everyone doing? Tito, welcome in. We just dropped the mod sword on you there, by the way, Tito. So yeah, if you want to ban the phrase big follows or big traffic or whatever it was this time, then yeah, feel free. Squash it. Enjoy the sword of power. Mr. Gary Clark says, morning, lads. Hey, David says, want to become famous? Put the effort in because we'll take your money and do fuck all is what you should say. That's pretty much what it does say. You what? I'm honoured. No, well, we're honoured. You're always here, so I appreciate it. And you've wielded the sword of power before, so we can trust you.
Welcome to the Shaggers Club.
Welcome to the Shaggers Club. Yeah. Anyway, if you are new here, my name is Graham. I've mentioned that already, but this is Bibby, and we together are Ice Cream Uploads, and in true Ice Creamy fashion, this is The Scoop. Some may say the UK's #1 video games podcast. That some is us, but it still counts. Anyway, we're going to give you our thoughts and impressions of the biggest, the best, the breaking stories of the world of video games. And we want your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions so we can create a discussion, a little bit of back and forth. And it's important that if you are in the chat, like Tito, like Mr. Gary Clark, hey, morning lads, and like David, and like Gagad, good morning, gents. Welcome all. If you're in the chat, please feel free to use your voice over the next course of an hour or so, because this live stream that goes out each and every single weekday at 10 a.m. ish on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads gets turned into a podcast, a video on YouTube and an audio podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. So everyone listening and watching on demand later on gets to use the comments and things down below. If you're on YouTube, hit those comments. Yeah. Add the like button as well, just because. But they don't get to speak to us live right now on air, and you guys get to do that on their behalf. Before we jump into the news, though, we have a couple of talking points. First up, exclamation mark giveaway. I mean, it's kind of obvious, really. We are running a giveaway. Actually, before I say that, don't type it yet, because chatbot's not running. I had a PC restart update thingy, so I just need to open up chatbot. Exclamation mark giveaway when the chatbot is live. We'll tell you that we have a giveaway running thanks to 2K and Muscle Moose. We have a bunch of products, including 3 brand new, top-of-the-range exclusive, but not really exclusive, but 2K games. Includes PGA 2K21, WWE 2K Battlegrounds, and 2K Mafia. There's no 2K in that one, but I'm throwing it in anyway. As well as a Muscle Moose selection box, including Moose Juice, and all of the other goodies in there. So if you want to get involved, exclamation mark 2K gives you the details on that. That's a celebration of us hitting 2K followers, which is why there's 2K games in there. Shout out to 2K once again for seeing that and getting behind it. Much appreciated. As well as hitting 2K followers, if you are a subscriber, you have a way to get extra prizes that nobody else gets as well. Subscribers have a chance of winning the monthly loot drop, which is one prize that we give back to our subscribers for helping support the channel. Exclamation mark Cyberpunk will give you the details on the prize. Spoilers, it's Cyberpunk, it's in the name, so you should know that by now. Nice. Anyway, there you go. I'm just going to check exclamation mark give away, make sure chatbot is working healthily, and it is. There we go. And finally, exclamation mark Cyberpunk. No, Cyberpunk. No, there's no I in it, Graham. Cyberpunk. There we go. Nice. Okay, jump into the split screen so we can get started with some news. Ooh, my transition stalled a bit then, but we seem to be healthy. Nice. I jump back through the chat. Tito says, what's going on? No audio crackle this morning. Yeah, I may have fixed it by, I think it was resource overload. I did a little bit of looking around. I've been looking for ages, and the only thing that I didn't look at is it's potentially called fracturing, where too much stuff is happening. Basically, I'm overloading my PC because even though I have a lot of scenes and a lot of sources, each of those sources isn't used all the time. But Streamlabs OBS basically keeps them all open, so you can go in and tick an individual setting that says turn off when not active. So every one of my transitions, every one of my animations, like the finish him sort of stuff, like I mean, I can play one now. Let's do Metal Gear Solid Game Over. I mean, I hope we don't get DMCA'd for that. I mean, it's still a game. It's fine. We should be fine. We should be fine. So like that sort of stuff is sat there waiting for me to use whenever needed. When I'm playing games or whatever, I can use that kind of thing. But Streamlabs just keeps it open and keeps it there. So I was using like about 80% of my CPU on my RAM. One of the other, I can't remember which one it was. Anyway, whatever, 80%, it was all gone. So anyway, I turned all that shit off and we're down to like 50-60%, so it's good. It's good. I may have fixed it. We've heard that before. We have heard that before. I don't think, when I say I fixed it as well, I don't think it's a fix in terms of, I don't think it's not going to happen. I think I have to be aware that if I'm adding too much into my sources, I probably need to buy... I think it's maybe a RAM issue. I might need to buy extra RAM. Not that I don't have enough. I can't remember what I've actually got, but I probably need more. So, yeah, it could be one of those that are fixed for now, unless we add more bits on them. We could break it again. It's porn, isn't it, Graham? That's what's over on your PC.
No one watches porn on the PC anymore. It's all on the mobile phone. Again, which is why you should never touch anybody's PlayStation pad or mobile phone.
I'm just trying to find where Gary's camera is and how he has this information. But no, you're right. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we found out with that lockdown article that, what was it, 70% of Pornhub views come from the PS4 or something like that.
56%. It was a huge number. It was a massive number, a number that I couldn't comprehend anyway. Because
absolutely baffling.
I have a mobile phone.
I wonder why you never change your phone anymore, babe. Waggling your joystick? Well, waggling your joystick. GG. So what you do is go into Slobs and record everything as one source, and anything that needs cam or PNG like game capture display, actually use a green filler, and then chroma that one source. I can't understand that 630. It probably absolutely makes sense. So go and record everything as one source. And everything needs a cam or PNG like game capture display, so use a green filler and then chroma that one source. As in have it all as one image. So like, okay, so turn your camera off right now and you record that square being filled with green. So then chroma key out the square so that my cam is basically yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Do you know what? I might actually pick your brains on that a little bit, because I mean, let's see if I can. I was going to show you myself. I was going to show you how many different sources I've got. Spoilers, it's a lot. So yeah, I might pick your brains on that. I mean, even just using our split screen setup. So we have where I am is a camera. Where Bibby is a Discord capture. Then we have 2 frames around them, and then my name right here, Bibby's name over there. That's a separate source. So yeah, all of the sources are separate. Mr. Tharian Drake.
Hey,
dropping a raid. Hey, and Epic Skill as well. How's things? I was sat in Tharian Drake's stream on Sunday night, I think it was. Quite late on for us. I thought, do you know what, I want something to wind down with, so watching Mr. Tharian Drake. I missed the beginning of it, so I didn't ask questions because I was just trying to unwind and nod off kind of thing. But you were redesigning Epic Skill's logo, or were you adding extra stuff to the logo? What was the process there? But yeah. Welcome in though. Thank you very much for the raid, and thank you very much for triggering the raid music and the lights and stuff in the room. It's nice. I was redesigning and figuring out an overlay. Yeah. Anyway, that's enough about tech talk and things. I appreciate the input 6 there. I'm going to actually look into that because we do have, I mean, when we have big screen moving assets, it takes quite a lot. So that's part of the reason why we broke it down. We did have one big source, but it was a lot of in terms of file size. So we've squashed that down. But anyway, we will come back to that. But for now, you may have seen it as I started the stream, because I kind of had the discussing now slate on the stream. Spoilers. But there is a big game potentially coming to the PS5. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a surprise, but it's nice to have confirmation. Let me just bosh. There we go. There we go. By Don Peppiatt of VG247, it says a retail listing has revealed that The Last of Us Part 2 PS5 upgrade could be in the works. A next-gen upgrade may be in the works for Naughty Dog's latest game, making The Last of Us Part 2 PS5 a reality sooner than we thought. A store listing for The Last of Us Part 2 has appeared over at Best Buy that suggests a next-gen update for the game could be in the works at Naughty Dog. The Best Buy store listing for the PS4 physical copy of one of 2020's biggest games includes a tag that reads, includes next-gen upgrade. Excuse me. The development studio hasn't formally announced any specific upgrades for The Last of Us Part 2 on PS5, though the game does benefit from all the usual system-side upgrades backwards compatible games enjoy if you boot it up on the new hardware, including faster loading times and so on. The Last of Us Part 2 also supports haptic feedback via the DualSense controller on PS5, but that's about the extent of its next-gen support at the time of writing. It may be that Best Buy has made the listing in error and we're not going to see more upgrades released for the game, but given that other PlayStation exclusives have received patches to make them perform better on the new hardware, that seems unlikely. The Last of Us Part 2 is one of the biggest games of the year, is a critical hit, and won over a lot of players' hearts, as you can see in our review. There's also no mention of an upgrade on The Last of Us Part 2's PS5 store listing page, though, so take Best Buy's tag with a pinch of salt. The official Sony description for the game on PS5 actually notes that while the game is playable on PS5, some features available on the PS4 may be absent. Last week, HBO greenlit a series based on The Last of Us that's due to go into production soon. It will be helmed by Chernobyl's Craig Mazin and executive produced by and written by Neil Druckmann. Last of Us Part 2 PS5. Babe, is that when you're going to play
it? Yes. I mean, this is absolutely going to happen. There will be at some point a PlayStation 5 version of this game, whether or not that's going to be a remake, remaster, or just massive improvements in terms of the resolution, visuals, and frame rate. It's gonna absolutely happen. What they're doing it with all the rest of the games at some point, so why would this one that's cherished by millions not have the same treatment? It's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, what do we all think in terms of price for that then? And the reason I'm asking that is obviously a lot of people, partially because of Cyberpunk, are expecting video games to be next-gen upgraded for free. Smart delivery, partially because of Xbox and that too. So if you pay for the game on the PS4, you get it on the PS5. You pay for the game on the One X, you get it on the Series X, or S's as well. Excuse me. And people are now expecting forward compatibility for free. You get that essentially with The Last of Us from the PS4 to the PS5. If they make a PS5 standalone version, should people be expecting to pay for that? I'm not saying that they should. I'm not saying that they shouldn't. That was just a general question. Thoughts? Mr. T says, I think they'll do a free upgrade unless it's a massive tech overhaul. What do you think, babe?
I'm stuck in two minds. Is it too soon for them to actually begin to? I mean, I genuinely thought that when the PlayStation came out that they would have already done this. I thought this would have been in the pipeline since they released the game. I thought they would have continued to work on it alongside the game coming out on the PlayStation 4. I thought this would have already been done and dusted on the system, ready for the PlayStation to go, and then it would be coming out. What that means now, I think, well, it doesn't mean anything because that's just my opinion of what I thought they would have done, considering of what game it was. I think now it hasn't come out already, there is a chance that it will be an overhaul rather than it just be a visual and performance upgrade. I think I think that will be the case, rather than them just releasing it as a better resolution, frame rate stuff. They'll probably change a lot of the game, not in terms of the way that the game is and storyline and stuff like that. I mean, just the way that the game looks to try and make the most out of the PlayStation hardware. I don't think they'll release it until they know that they can work with and try to get the best out of every single part of this console, which makes me think that it isn't just going to be a free upgrade. They'll go a different route. Yeah. It could be that they bring out the second one, a proper, like they've done with Miles Morales, they've give you the base game of Spider-Man as a remaster alongside a brand new thing. It could be that they do the same with the Last of Us 1 and 2 as a bundle package, and they'll charge you 40 quid for it.
I was thinking somewhere close to that in my sort of mindset. I mean, this is all guesswork. I have no evidence to back this up, just assumptions. I was thinking if they were going to make a song and dance about it being on PS5, that would have been at launch. and that would have been free. In terms of the games come out, you paid for it, and you want the next gen upgrades, forwards compatibility, and smart delivery, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it'll all be free. By leaving a little bit of a gap, they break from that. Oh, it's just the same game on the next gen. Okay, you've got the game and you've got it on the next gen, but if you want something extra, maybe they bring in, what was it? Left Behind? Was that the DLC for The Last of Us?
That's the first one, yeah.
So I mean, has there been any mention of DLC for The Last of Us Part 2? If not, I think that could be it. So The Last of Us Part 2, when the DLC drops, there's some sort of like Ultimate Collector's Remastered Edition kind of thing that has The Last of Us Part 2. Maybe even The Last of Us Part 1, as Bibbs mentioned. Although that is on the PS Plus collection, I'm not convinced that they will remaster that again. But The Last of Us Part 2 remastered for the PS5 with the equivalent of Left Behind. Left Behind Part 2. So the next DLC set. I wouldn't be surprised if that is where it comes in. That way you get extra content, you get the remasters, and you can put all of that into a physical package. Not charge you 70 quid anymore, because that's what you're hitting for full price, but maybe the 40 quid. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they do charge you 70 quid, because they've just done that to me with the Ultimate Edition of Miles Morales. Where, so there you go. But, I mean, getting the full game... I mean, I suppose they could do, because Miles Morales is short in comparison to Spider-Man Remastered. So I suppose if they gave you The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered and the DLC, the Miles Morales, the Left Behind, stick that on top, sell that as a standalone piece of content, and a boxed PS5 sleeve game, I wouldn't be surprised if that's kind of the way they go. And there we go. I hope I'm wrong, though. No DLC. Never mind. They confirmed it's not happening. Only a multiplayer part is coming. And maybe the multiplayer part could be that function then, rather than DLC. Maybe they just release that with it alongside it. Something in the bundle that makes it a bit different. But Morning Fish as well. Bib just shouted it out. But I'll read. I mean, you mentioned The Last of Us, and then David Fish appears. See your sexy artworks. I see it.
Gary's mentioned there, he can't see it being a massive overhaul myself, that as the game was a looker on the PS4 anyway. We thought that about Spider-Man, and Spider-Man's had a remaster. Spider-Man's what, 18 months old?
It might even be a touch older, but I agree with the sentiment. So yeah, maybe a remaster doesn't necessarily mean the way it looks, but maybe they can add stuff in, take stuff out, or change the gubbins inside so that it performs better. Not that it's a chugger of a game either, but maybe things just load much faster, utilize RTX in a way that you can't do with the backwards compatible systems and so on. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, if there isn't a massive overhaul and it's just a multiplayer edition, I can't see that being enough to sell a boxed version for the PS5. Because if you're just selling, the game's got upgrades. No, it's just got multiplayer, actually. It's like, okay, well, nobody plays The Last of Us for the multiplayer. You play The Last of Us for The Last of Us, and then that makes you play the multiplayer because the story is so good. It never made me play the multiplayer, but I mean, I imagine the split between those that play The Last of Us and those that play the multiplayer. I mean, The Last of Us is there out at the top of the screen, and the multiplayer is probably fairly low in comparison. Not that nobody's playing it, but just because the story is The Last of Us. So that being it, I can't see that being enough to sell a boxed copy on its own. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If it is, I mean, I suppose it could do. If they have some form of remaster in there and the multiplayer elements within there too, then I could see that working in essence. But I wouldn't. I'm fully into The Last of Us. The Last of Us Part 1, one of the best games I've ever played. But I wouldn't be spending $70 on just the multiplayer element of The Last of Us Part 2. I will just stick with the one that I've already got and play that on the PS5 and go that way. Fish says, I'm a fiend for The Last of Us, love that universe. Asim says, I think they're likely to have a PS5 release alongside the multiplayer would make marketing and business sense. And that's it. I mean, it's having that marketing tag. I'm not sure multiplayer is enough, though, which is why I think there will be some form of, it's better for the PS5 remaster, even if that's not anything significant, really, because as Gary says, it looks incredible as it is. But even if they don't push it to brand new heights, I mean, even The Last of Us Part 1 looked really good before they remastered that. So maybe they just remaster it, which makes some of the edges be a bit smoother, whereas they're a bit jagged, and just say, there you go, it's remastered for the PS5. So if you get that, just having the word remaster on a game as powerful as The Last of Us is enough to sell more copies, because people are given an excuse to play a game through again that they've already played through. So some form of remaster with multiplayer. Standalone box. Ta-da! 70 quid. Bang! Spider-Man was released, though, to try and sell Miles Morales more than anything. The Last of Us is easily the best-looking game on the PS4. They could just remaster Ellie's eyelashes and I'd buy it. Exactly. Now, there are 2 Spider-Men in one game series. Do you think they will do any co-op DLC missions with one player being Miles and the other Peter? Can't answer that because I haven't played them yet, so I don't know how they tie together. And if anyone does want to answer that question, do it in a spoiler-free way. Multiplayer is actually quite light from the original Last of Us. Probably a small percentage of the overall number, but even that is enough to sell 1 million or 2. I mean, yeah, not saying it. I mean, it was very, very well received. That's why when they announced that it wasn't going to be in at first, there was a big backlash, and then it was confirmed that multiplayer will be coming later on. But yeah, I mean, I suppose you're right in that sense that a number of people did play it, but even if that is a small percentage, when you've got, I mean, how many did The Last of Us sell? Like 13 million, something like that. I mean, so if it's not that, it'll be in that sort of ballpark. So if 10% of 13 million, that's still 1 million and a bit copies sold. So yeah, I suppose you're right in that sense. It just doesn't smack as a marketing header though. Your marketing message should be the one that hits everyone, not at the 10%. So I just don't know if it'd be strong enough to say. But then again, it carries The Last of Us branded, so maybe it is. I think it will have a few graphical updates, faster loading, and an option for 60 FPS. Does it have 60 FPS on the PS4 at the moment? If it doesn't, then that's a good shout, because that is enough for a lot of people. I mean, people that play particularly on monitors as opposed to TVs. Ray tracing, there you go. I mean, I mentioned that one before, but yeah, ray tracing. If you get ray tracing and 60 FPS, I mean, I don't know who this Mr. Tracing is, but he's always being mentioned. Good lad, Big Ray. But yeah, ray tracing 60 FPS. That's next gen on its own, right there. Boom. 43 FPS on PS4. Is that facts, ads, or are you just throwing in numbers? But yeah. But drops to 37. Is that fact? I mean, if it comes in as a solid 60 FPS, it's locked to 30 FPS on PS4 Pro. What about on the PS5? I'm assuming then ad says facts. Okay, we'll take it with a pinch. I don't know. But if it hits 43 FPS and you can get solid 60 with ray tracing, then that's next gen enough for me. Facts as a YouTube video. Okay, there you go. So yeah. That would be a next gen enough. So remastered, that's enough to say remastered for the PS5. And then say, and multiplayer as well. Boom, boxed, all in one package. Yes, please. I'll take that. And then they'll sell it all together, and then you'll only be able to buy parts of it separately 3 years down the line, like we said with the COD remasters and stuff. So yeah. Still locked on PS5 right now at software level. It also loads 45% faster. Whatever happens, I'd buy it again. I'm part of the problem. You goddamn right.
Well, you just want to experience it in the best way that you possibly can. No one should ever hold that against you. At the end of the day, if you want to buy it again with the money that you earn, that's exactly your prerogative. But
no, it's
yeah,
not.
I mean,
I have.
How many times have I bought fucking Skyrim?
No, I have an opinion on how you spend your money. So forget how you want to spend your money. This is the internet, so I decide how you spend your money.
How many times have I bought Skyrim, for fuck's sake?
Yeah, exactly.
I am part of the problem.
Exactly. I mean, I would expect nothing less from Gary, because Gary, I don't know, is it still going? Gary has a Twitter account called Naughty Dog World, where he made a website, a blog dedicated to Naughty Dog and their video games. So Gary buying it again is nothing less than I would expect, Gary, and a high five for it too. And says Skyrim Pog. Yeah. I mean, the one thing that would be important though is that you get value from it. I mean, even if it's the exact same game with minimal upgrades, and I'm saying minimal as if I completely know that I'm stepping over some huge upgrades here. Minimal upgrades like ray tracing and 60 FPS. Minimal upgrades like the next generation on console grade. Nice, yeah. But even if it just had that, that would be enough to make the story pop even more, and you get value from the story. The game is what is it? 40-hour game again, something along those lines, 30 to 40 hours. If you're playing that game for 30 to 4 hours, then you are getting immense value out of that game at 60 FPS with ray tracing and everything involved. If you're not bothered about 60 FPS and ray tracing, then yeah, just play the one as it is. But if you're a video game's equivalent of an audio file, if you're a cinema file, if you're that person that wants to sit and watch on a big screen with a perfect audio in your armchair, relax and stuff, then this is the video game version of that. So if you want it, jump in. I'm saying if want it, jump in. That's if it ever happens, we don't know. It's all guesswork at this time. So that would be a selling point of a new version. Fidelity mode, locked 4K 30 FPS ray tracing, and performance dynamic 4K 60, generally faster too. So what you're saying, Asim, is basically copy PUBG. That's it. PUBG wins again. 4K 30, 1080, 60. Okay, yeah. Although PUBG doesn't have the 4K ray tracing stuff in there, so yeah, not quite. But I've got to say PUBG, so it's fine. Anyway, value propositions, that's what we're just talking about, as long as you get value out of the game, which is a nice segue into a game that we started speaking about yesterday, because we know it's in the wild, and we can continue the conversation a little bit today. One of the things we were saying yesterday is Cyberpunk, the game that we are giving away, exclamation mark Cyberpunk in the chat if you want to see any more on that. We know it's in the wild now. We've seen it being boxed. People have taken photos of the hard copies. They are in distribution chains. The only thing between you and them now is logistics. But the worry is, does the game have too much? There's definitely a lot in the game. I'm not sure if it's too much or not, so let's jump into the article, because this is the point I'm getting at. Cyberpunk dev hasn't finished the game after over 175 hours. I'll stop there for a second. There's a positive and a negative in that for me, depending on how it goes. The positive is, my God, 175 hours. That is incredible. Paying 50 quid for your smart delivery version of the game and getting 175 hours and still not finishing it, bargain. Absolute value for money. The flip side is, if you don't finish 25-hour games, are you going to finish a 175-hour game? Whew. I don't know. Tesco value the game? Hey, this triggered so many people on Twitter. In terms of the number of hours, it'd be interesting. Just to mention as well that this article was submitted by Mr. Asim Tanvir. Thank you very much, Mr. T. Much appreciated for tweeting us yesterday. If you do have any extra articles, just as I mentioned it, there we go. Nice one, chatbot. That's what you like to say. Just if you do have any articles, you can either tweet them at us on Twitter, or you can enter the Discord, which has just been dropped in the chat by the chatbot. Anyway, let's jump back into the article and have a little bit of a read. This is written by Don Peppiatt at VG247. It says, a Cyberpunk 2077 developer has pumped more than 175 hours into the upcoming RPG on the highest difficulty and has yet to finish the game. CD Projekt Red's lead QA tester, Lucas Babiel, revealed that he has spent over 175 hours playing Cyberpunk 2077 and has yet to see credits roll on the massive title. When asked by a curious fan if that huge amount of playtime is necessary for all players hoping to complete the game, Babiel replied, "Not really, that's just one of my ongoing, slow-paced playthroughs on the hardest difficulty where I play more stealthy than usual. Loot everything, use every feature the game has to offer. I take my time." No doubt, that will be good news for players hoping to sink as much time into the futuristic dystopia of Night City as they did into CD Projekt Red's the last game, The Witcher 3. We know at this point the developer is adept at creating games that players can sink an inordinate amount of time into, and it looks like Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be no different. Earlier today, we reported that Cyberpunk 2077 is already in the hands of some players around the world, but it's reassuring to know that they may not reach the end game before the game's launch, even though that is still almost 3 weeks away. That's incredible. Despite a slew of delays, it looks like we're finally on the home stretch of the game's anticipated release. CD Projekt Red released updated PC specs for the game recently, as well as a deep dive in the title's gameplay, a deeper look at Johnny Silverhand, and more besides. It's almost here, for real, this time. Woo. Woo. See, I know what I think about this. Bib, 175 hours plus in a game. Thoughts?
Bring it on. Bring it on. I can make a 20-hour game feel like a 40-hour game, purely because I don't like leaving an area until I know that that area is 110% complete. It's the same. I mention it all the time. ESO. Yeah, I can play that game forever purely because I will not leave the island that I'm on until I need to go to the next, until I've completed everything that there is to complete, the dungeons, the lore books, crafting materials, every single aspect of that island needs to be complete before I progress to the next level. Same with Resident Evil. I will check every single nook and cranny in that room to find if there's an extra set of ammo in the corner, or is there a piece, or is there a book or something that I need to pick up to try and get some more lore behind it. I don't care. I will bring and prolong the game to my satisfaction. I don't need to rush through it. I need to take it in. Currently do the same with Days Gone at the moment. I know that I can get through areas quicker. I just don't want to leave the area until I get rid of all the zombie nests and stuff like that. So I can make a small game feel even bigger. If the game at its absolute peak, and this person's saying that it's going in and scavenging and salvaging everything that there is to salvage, that is music to my ears. And yes, I am a nerd.
See, I think this is just absolute bullshit, if I'm being honest. I mean, who wants to play something for 175 hours? I mean, I'm spending my money on a video game, not for it to consume my life, just for it to just be enjoyable for 3 to 4 minutes. Why would I want to spend 175 hours play? This is ridiculous. Who wants to live for 175 hours? That's like years. God, I'm joking. I was gonna try play devil's advocate for a bit on this, but I just don't see it. I don't see. I mean, Asim's comments are saying people are actually moaning that a game offers hundreds of hours of gameplay as an option. If you want to play it that way, Jesus wept. If you want to main the story, go for it. This dude is putting 175 hours in. Doesn't mean that you have to. Mainly those game journal types moaning. If you know, you know. And that's the thing. That's the thing for me, is you can smash through this game in, I'd imagine about 30 hours. Didn't they say that the game can be completed in 25 to 30 hours? They want to make it so that people can fly through the game and not have to keep coming back for it. So just because someone else has now come out and said I'm 175 hours into a playthrough, so I can. I mean, I've got more than 175 hours out of PUBG, which is 35 minutes. Never mind 30 hours. So it just depends on how you play the game.
Yeah. It'll always baffle me that literally there is some people that is an absolute perfectionist and completionist who will not want to progress. Some people will do some mainline story missions, get sidetracked for about 70 hours in side quests. It's just the way everyone plays games differently. A lot of people probably won't even play the side quests. They'll just complete the main storyline and then that'll be it. They'll never touch it again. That's absolutely fine. You play the game the way that you want to play. But yeah, absolutely for me. I won't leave an area unless I know there is nothing left there.
Yeah, I mean, I remember. I mean, I'll use Asim's comment as a jumping point for me to jump on something else slightly closer. This reminds me of when people shat on Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes for being like 1 to 3 hours. Yeah, if you just rush them in. Just rush them in the story. I played it for like 30 to 50 hours. So much stuff to do. Exactly. My comment though is Metal Gear Solid 3, which is a long enough game anyway in its own. There's a plenty chunk of time in there, but you could add shitloads more time, as I did and failed in my quest to find the Keratin frogs without having like a guide as to where they all were. I think I missed like 5 or something, which is quite a big number going through, thinking I'd checked every crevice, every angle, looked on every high ledge to shoot the little frogs that go whack, 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 whack. Well, it sound like little ducks kind of things. If you play Metal Gear Solid 3, you know. If you don't, then whatever. But yeah, those Keratin frogs, you didn't have to get those. They're just little side things for you to do as you're playing through the game. Once you play through the game, you can play through it again. Now you're aware of them and try hit every single one of them. I'm not the kind of person that will go back through a game to try hit the frogs. I will try hit them on the way through and then be disappointed when I invariably miss something on the way through. Fuck! Okay, I'm not going to play that again because that was a chore. But that's my area of enjoyment. Other people will be like, forget the frogs, I just want to fly through. Other people will be, forget the frogs, I want to fly through, and then get them on the second or third playthrough. I don't tend to play games multiple times. I will, though, put more time into a game. When I play a game, I'm the kind of person where I'm going down the road, and the road, it's not even like it forks off to 2 directions. It's basically you've got the road going, turn right, oh, there's also this little bit to the left. Most people are looking right, and I'm the person that's going, I'm just going to check left first because it looks like it wants me to go right, so there could be something hidden left. I'm that kind of person that goes and checks left and then comes back and then goes right because I want to make sure I've covered most angles. I imagine a lot of people are like that. Just the completionist. I'm a completionist to an extent. So I'm not a 175 hours player. I'm not a 40 hours player. I'm probably 80 hours in that sort of landscape. I probably do it twice as long as most people, but half as long as others. So yeah, play the game how you want to play it. Don't get pissed at it. And the comment about the journalist that Asim put in as well, I think that's something to keep in mind. Is that danger of echo chambers, and it can exist at any level. You can have echo chambers in streamers and content creators that sit and play the game for so many hours that they want a game changed to suit their needs that doesn't reflect the casual gamer. You can get it in community members that will do maybe the same extent, maybe even worse than streamers in terms of they play that game so heavily that they want something changed to suit them, not realizing that everyone around them is saying the same thing. But as soon as you get out of that little bubble, then that's actually you're a drop in the ocean of people, and your opinion is vastly different from everyone else's. And that happens clearly in journalism as well. Journalists, the game's too long. The game, it's not. You can do what you want. You, as a journalist, are flying through games. You want to put games against everything else. The thing is with video game journalism, it shouldn't be one size fits all. It shouldn't be, okay, your game is 25 to 40 hours and it fits in this, so I can equally benchmark it alongside the other games. The fact it's not 25 to 40 hours and easily benchmark makes it a better project, a product on its own that stands out for me. So yeah, if a game length is your issue as a games journalist, then from my background in journalism, that's not my kind of journalism. It's not for me.
Well, the thing is from the journalism standpoint is they have 1,000,000,001 games to get through as fast as possible. Now, there's probably happens 2 or 3 times a year where they will get a game that is probably the most eagerly anticipated game of the year until the next game arrives. So they'll try to get through it as fast as they can to try and write as full a review as they possibly can. That said, they may not enjoy it if they're not enjoying the game. I'm trying to get words out here to try and make me not sound like an absolute bellend. But if they're not enjoying the game, it's still their job that they have to absolutely write the review of that game. The chances are they'll probably play 50 to 60% of the game if they aren't enjoying it, and then write their review based on that. If they are thoroughly enjoying the game, I still don't think they would have played the 175 hours, which is a massive, massive ask, especially when they've got other games that they need to be getting on with as well. So they are in between a rock and a hard place when it comes to being able to try and voice an opinion on this. That said, it's still your job. You kind of need to play the game and write a wholehearted review based off of the information that you've got so far. It's a difficult situation for them to be in when it comes to the journalistic standpoint, but when you're playing a game like that, you kind of know what you're getting in for. You can't be playing an RPG like that and then not expect it to be as long as it is, with how long it's taken them and how much they've marketed this game as a universe rather than a universe and an experience rather than just a 20 to 30 hour game. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, and that's the issue there isn't, I mean, as you just pointed out, the issue isn't with the game, it's with the journalist or the outlet. If it's an outlet that's wanting you to fly through this game, the outlet is the issue in terms of they're pushing you through. If it's one independent journalist that's either writing something freelance or for someone else, and they just want to fly through it so they can get on something else, you are the issue, not the game. You're trying to analyze a game in your circumstances, not what it is for itself, which isn't fair. I'm not on board with that. I mean, you look at where it's come from as well. It's not as if they've just gone, well, fuck this, let's just throw in a bajillion hours into a game. I mean, you can't review Grand Theft Auto. You can the storyline, but Grand Theft Auto Online and all of the side stuff that you can do in the game, that could take a fucking shitload of time. And forget the online because that's open-ended, obviously. But that could take a shitload of time to do that. The Witcher, which is obviously where CD Projekt have come from, has Gwent, which is its own standalone card game. You can't forget that exists as well. So it's a completely out of touch take to come in and go, yeah, too big, no. But it's like it's effectively a sequel to a game that's just as big. So if it's too big, then you haven't done your due diligence. You've come in with a complete wrong mindset. The game isn't at fault. What you were expecting or what you want from it is. Tito says, as long as it isn't busy work, if it's optional side quests, bring it on. What were you going to say then?
Luke's comment, that is literally me in a nutshell.
Is it the right and wrong way?
Yeah, like if I go right, I get halfway down and think, shit, what if there's a collectible or something like that down the left-hand way, but the left-hand way is actually the way that I needed to go and I've missed the right-hand way. Oh, every single time I make the wrong choice.
So that, me talking about when the game clearly wants you to go right, but you then go left. Sometimes the game goes, go right or left, it's up to you. And you go right, and the game's like, yes, you've picked the right way to get towards the end game. And it's like, I don't want to get to the end game, I want to get the all game. So you then have to go back to check it, and you realise, fuck, okay, no, this actually is towards the end game. I was wrong, therefore right, the first time. So you then go back again and come back. Yeah, no, I've done that many, many times. That is exactly it. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is that kind of game. There's a lot of A or B decisions where, let's say A is always the way to choose to progress the storyline. B is always the way where there's just a little part of your lightsaber or something like that. Sometimes it's AB, sometimes it's BA, and you have to get it. And I always want to choose B first. Pick up the shit and then carry on with the storyline. That's what I want to do. But yeah, sometimes you pick A, think you've picked B, realize actually no, this is A, so I need to go back and do B, and then you get to B and realize no, fuck, actually this is A, so then you have to go back again. Yeah. I know. People trying to listen to this without the audio cue or the visual cue of me using my hands left and right for markers, I apologise, because that probably meant no sense at all. But I'd like to consult my friend, Mr. B.A. from the A team. Anyway. Skyrim, nerd! There was two shots of nerd in the chat as well. Adds a bit further up, nerd! Gary says, I'm the same as Bibby. I pretty much empty the room. If I could take stuff I'm not meant to, I would. I know we've seen it, Gary, at PES League World Finals and things. Can you put that down? So that's an ashtray. Yeah. It's not yours, honestly. Getting him at the Emirates as an Arsenal fan, literally, like, things under his. And it's like, yeah. Anyway, I'll go off the beaten path, curiosity and all that. I mean, you're the guy that's already platinum Miles Morales, Mr. T. So that's kind of.
I know, yeah. Jesus, get a life, Asim.
I mean, imagine trying to play a game like, I mean, flying through the stories. That's what it's about. I mean, Asim's not going to be the guy that's going to be sat there for. I'm joking. I'll never understand people getting their knickers in a twist over how people choose to enjoy a game. People just want to be outraged for the sake of it. All the time. You see it all the time. And that's the echo chamber sentiment. It could be how long a story is. It could be the way you play Master League. There we go, Master League. The fact that you start your Master League with a team that's not the PES defaults, you fucking idiot. You've not even got the full experience. You play with regens on and classic players, you absolute mentalist. You have a transfer budget that's huge, and you've not started with 2 Rizzler papers and a packet of Starburst. How dare you? And it's just like, chill out. They're playing it.
No. That's it. No.
See, I agree. I start with the defaults, no budget, and overwrite a Division 2 team so that I definitely have nothing to play with. That's Master League for me. But then again, it's the same thing. It's I can get 175 hours out of my Master League doing it that way. Some people don't have 175 hours, so shortcuts and all that. It's not for me, but it is for someone else. And do you know what? I can rant and rave about it for myself, but yeah, other people, nah. We should celebrate that games cater for pretty much everyone lengthwise. That's what she said. There's so much depth these days. That's what she said. 3 to 5 hour games, 20 to 30 hours, and 50 hour plus games. Yeah, incredible. I think Anthem had a requirement which took thousands of kills or something before you could claim it. It artificially lengthened the game. That isn't what you want to see in content. If it's bona fide content, quit whining. Do you know what? I agree that as well. I'm not a fan of that sort of content in games. You see it in Fortnite, but they make a specific point of its stretch goals. So you've done your content, your battle pass content and everything, you've done all your missions and there's nothing left. Okay, here's stretch goals. I don't even know if they're in this season, but the last season that I got to the end of it, it was like, earn a bajillion XP, and it's like, okay, that's just an absolute chore. But if I'm playing it every day, over and over and over again, winning so many games, killing so many people, then at least it's actually an unrealistic target that's potentially achievable, so it gives you a little bit of gamification. When it's an add-on that's just stupid for the hardcore, fair enough. If it's an actual in-game mission, that's That's a grind that's just been turned into a mission. That's almost lazy mission making for me. So I agree with that. GTA 5 single player great. GTA 5 online shit if you're on your own. Shit if you're on your own, and shit if you're beginning on your own as well. I remember going into GTA 5 online and literally just having some whopper like rocket launching me, bang, 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 like over and over again, and you spawn like 3 seconds away. So the dude just turns around and goes, "Oh, there he is again!" Hey, so you have to turn that like you can't kill me mode on, but then you can't do anything else as well, and if you're with other people.
He ruined it for me. He absolutely ruined it for me. That is literally what you've just said, word for word, exactly what happened. You see me spawning, chased me around the map with a rocket launcher. Every time I got in my car, buff. I died 3 or 4 times. I thought, do you know what? Fuck this.
I'm out of here.
Never again.
Help Heroes Paul says, "Hey, welcome in, dude. How are you doing? How's your day? How's Tuesday?" Tito says, "I might play that again on next gen. Iceman got fed up with disconnects and loading screens on Xbox One. The fact that you can get into the game in less than 12 hours as well will be a benefit. So those SSDs might be useful for it. So nice. If I enjoy a game, I can play it for a long time, even if it's only a few hours long." No, same. I think that's what it all boils down to. I think this is definitely a chip on the shoulder sort of thing. That journalist, that length, you've got to feel that's charged by his lifestyle. And there's nothing wrong with that if that suits him. But I think as a journalist, you always have to be aware of the audience. Not everyone in his audience is going to be super pushed for time and churns through games to get to the end of them. Because as a journalist, you're doing it for enjoyment as well as functional reasons. The functional reason is it's your job and you have deadlines. Most people that play games aren't churning through games. So some people are. I am sometimes, because I have so many games that I need to play and finish. Sometimes I just do churn through it and I don't fully enjoy it. Or I'll start the churn and halfway through I'll think, okay, I need to slow down and take this in a bit more because I'm not fully experienced it. Star Wars was one of them. I played it for like 2 weeks and I was churning. Not 2 weeks. No, I played it for a few hours and then I didn't play it for 2 weeks because I was churning. And I went back and then slowed down and started to fully enjoy it. And there was a bit where you're, I can't remember if you're in an AT-AT or you've got to take one down. Anyway, it was very cinematic, whatever it was. And yeah, at that point I was like, okay, yeah, I need to fully enjoy this because it's a Star Wars game. The audio, the visuals, boom, they changed it for me. Someone like him, if you just like doing the grunt work, trying to plow your way through it, you're not going to enjoy it. But none of his readers, or very few of his readers, are going to be in that mindset. And you have to keep that in mind. You're not speaking just for yourself. You're speaking to a readership. And without that connection, your content is very bespoke to yourself and therefore essentially useless.
You don't think with games like this, there's always games that I think of that will be my Christmas game. It will be the holiday period throughout. There's always one game that I've picked that I know is a lengthy one that I'm perhaps not going to get the most out of. No, she didn't. No, she did not. That I'm not going to get the same experience playing 1 or 2 hours a day. It's one of them ones where you need to play like 4 or 5 hours back to back and just get into the zone and just feel it, so that the next time you load it up, you're not thinking, shit, what did I actually do the last time I played it?
Yeah.
And this, for me, is exactly one of those games. Like, if I know that it's a long old game, this will be the game that I want to be playing over Christmas, where I've got no other interruptions apart from obviously spending time with your family, because you kind of need to do that around Christmas time because that's what it's for. Maybe not this year, we'll see. But, everyone always has. Well, I always have a Christmas game that I know I'm going to sink some hours into.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I mean, last year out of the blue, it was Fortnite. Just Star Wars stuff came along, and I spent all of Christmas playing Fortnite. So much so that I've been playing Fortnite these last few nights. And
you enjoyed it yet?
Ish. I was until yesterday, and now I've used all my missions up, and now I just need to grind 21 levels. I got 21 levels to go, so it's just a bit of a chore. Even yesterday, getting back-to-back wins for like the first time in like 12 months, I was like, yeah. It was more 30,000 XP or whatever it was, rather than 2 wins. But that's because I'm grinding it. For those that don't know, I like Fortnite, but I don't like to play it all the time. I want the Iron Man skin, which is level 100. There's like 7 days left of the season pass, and I've got 20 levels to go. So yeah. Anyway, let's go back through the chat. Actually, I was saying my Christmas games this year. If I haven't started it by then, I imagine it will have done. It'll be Spider-Man and then Miles Morales back to back. If I have done those, I imagine it will be The Last of Us Part 2. I have a lot to choose from just this year. So I've got Spider-Man, Miles Morales, The Last of Us Part 2, and Ghost of Tsushima all sat there waiting to be fully enjoyed. So I've got one of those, or all of those will be Christmas for me and Danielle.
Maybe that's the poll that we can put out on Twitter. What is your Christmas game this year? I'd really like to know, because there is a lot of games that could potentially be looked at, especially if you're on the new gen. Maybe not for you Xbox guys, but we apologise for that.
Whoopa!
But you got Spider-Man, Miles Morales. I don't think that's classed as a Christmas game, is it? You can finish it in 8 hours. I don't think it's too short to be classed as a Christmas game.
Yeah, but I've not played Spider-Man, so I'm classing both of them as one.
It's a 48-hour game then you've got there, Graham. That's nice.
Nice.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I'm yet to start that. I've got it. Samantha got that with alongside to go with my PlayStation, so that's definitely something that I want to get.
That's definitely a Christmas game contender. I mean, you guys might have started dropping your comments in. I've not gone down, so I will scroll down through the chat in a second. But yeah, what are you guys thinking for Christmas games? Let me just catch up then. We need Skyrim, but multiplayer for PS5, says Ads. No, we don't. No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
See, look, he's
not.
Do. See that? Not interested in the slightest. He's not interested. Let's all get the platinum on Cyberpunk. 2,000 hours later. Paul says some games will go around the houses. I enjoy it so much, like Spider-Man. But then there is some I just blast through the stories. It's okay, but does it grab me? No, I understand that. 2,500 kills per enemy type on Anthem originally. See, that's just that's laziness for me. I mean, the thing is, you might churn through hundreds of kills a day or a weekend or something. I don't know. I don't know what the format of it was like, but 2,500 per type is just laborious. That's unimaginative. I mean, I could think of a really clever mission for you to do, but instead just do the same thing over and over again 2,500 times. That should be a stretch goal, not your main content. I used the originals, put Celtic in Div 2, and use them, put Rangers in Div 1. Nice. It'll be 2077 by the time I get that platinum. Touché. There's no content for solo online players in GTA Online. That's the issue with it for me. You can go in as a solo and essentially build an empire, as my friend did using the is it crews? Is that what they were called? So he created a crew called Sons of Anarchy, something numbers, and. Like, he says, I've created my own crew, do you want to join it? So I was like, yeah, go on then. Joined it and then never played GTA Online. The next time I went on, he had like a crew with like fucking hundreds of people, like in his army, like doing things for him. He's like some head boss. He's like, I'll make you a whatever lieutenant. I don't know what the phrase was, like a high ranking thing is, so you get extra money and this, that, and the other. I was like, okay, fuck, okay, this sounds so complex to me. I'm going to turn it back off again. I'm good, thanks, you guys. I just started the new Spider-Man. Yeah, we're good. We got PS5s, so we can glow with a bit of respect. Yes, baby. This is the one for my Christmas break. I'm off from 15th December till 11th January. Woo, nice.
Bloody hell.
It'll be dedicated to Cyberpunk. GG, enjoy. I think Days Gone is going to be my Christmas game. I just need some time aside to get lost in that world. Well, Bibbs is doing that one now.
Brilliant so far. Yeah, it's brilliant so far. I'm probably four-ish hours into it. Fantastic so far. Again, though. I'm probably nowhere near as far as I should be. Like the first mission, that isn't the one where you always have it in these games. You always have a tutorial mission, don't they? Where it's a mission, but they're holding your hand, they're telling you where to go. The first mission after that, where you kind of let loose to do what you need to do. I've just finished that one, and yeah, I've spent far too much time in where I absolutely didn't need to be, but it's all part of the charm.
Well, that's on my list of games to play. It's lower down the list. I mean, Detroit is another one, and all of the games in that sort of like Heavy Rain series are still on the list as well. So yeah, I've got plenty to get through, but I won't touch any of those this Christmas. That'll be further down the line. Assassin's Creed Valhalla or Cyberpunk's going to be my Christmas game, says Gary. Not sure which one yet. Cyberpunk's will probably be my Christmas game, or I might try PS 2021 again, says Ads. Joystick Junkies says, hope well, guys. How are we enjoying our PS5s? Yes, it's not bad, mate. It's not bad. No, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
I haven't added it to the setup yet, so I have my PS4 there. My PS5 is downstairs, so I haven't added it to my setup yet because I'm playing on an evening, doing the Fortnite grindy bits, and I'm doing that on the PS5 version and stuff. So I am enjoying it, even though it isn't in my setup yet. I am not using my DualSense controller though for PUBG. I am for Fortnite, but not for PUBG because I've been using a scuff controller, and it's not so much the extra paddles and stuff that's useful. It's the sticks, the amount of movement. I'm fine tuned to using my scuff controller on PUBG on the PS4. So when I'm playing PUBG on the PS5, I have to switch off the DualSense and put on my DS4 scuff controller and use that instead because I just can't. Like my aim, I'll go to aim at someone and I'm like on my DS4, I'm like, boom, headshot. On my DualSense, I'm like, boom, pigeon shot. It's like somewhere up in the sky. Fuck, like some crow falls down. But apart from that, yeah, all good, all good. Got Ghost and Spider-Man Miles Morales to play for Christmas time, etc. Cyberpunk will wait, says Madge. I also play Fortnite, but just to jump in now and again. But I hit the grind for Iron Man and Wolverine, but I gave up on Wolverine. I did all of Wolverine's missions yesterday. I finished that, so I killed Wolverine, and then got his claws. You have to do 200 damage with Wolverine claws. I got to 180, and that meant I had to go back and kill him again to get his claws and do 20 damage on someone else, which I managed to do yesterday. So yeah, nice. Football Manager 21 could be it for me, as it's the only game that I'll definitely get at some point during the Christmas break. See, that smells like a good Christmas. Football Manager is a really good Christmas game because something like the bigger ones that we're talking about, you kind of have to make the decision to sit down and play it. Football Manager, you effectively could just, if it's on a laptop or whatever, even if it's just on a console, you could have it on, go and sort out your stuff in, come back, do a couple bits more, and go do something else. I mean, that's just like your absolute jump in, jump out game. David Fish says, FM is a great shout. That's more of my Christmas, New Year, Easter, and summer game, though. Yeah, Christmas, New Year, Easter, summer, autumn. Yeah.
16 years deep at this point.
If things work out, I might be able to do a modded FIFA 21 career. Ooh, interesting. Might get Demon Souls, I'm Goodall. I'm guessing that's Godfall or Watch Dogs. I've got / pre-ordered all the games I've waited this year. Nice. Plenty to choose from then. PS5 is downstairs. Graham hasn't put the RSJ required. Spot the weight. I don't know what an RSJ is.
Multiple choice.
Either way, yeah, my upstairs can't support the PS5. Danielle came walking upstairs with it the other day when I was streaming. So I was streaming my PUBG stuff after we'd finished. What were we doing Thursday when it came?
Sweet.
Yeah, we play something first? I can't remember.
Because we had to wait for our PlayStation to update.
Yeah. So I was playing PUBG. Anyway, my PlayStation came around 4 or 5 p.m.-ish, and I heard the door go, so I was talking away, and I went, oh, I think that's my PS5. And then Danielle was like, bringing it upstairs, and you could just hear, she's carrying it up the stairs. She's only little anyway, bless her. But yeah, it was massive. So yeah, you can't see it because the alternate cam doesn't look down there, but there's a small like scaffolding being built there that's into the structure of the house and the next house and the surrounding 3 kilometers, and that's just for the PS5. Just there, if that's what you meant. Well, that joke failed abysmally. I'll get my code. It's all right. I got there eventually, thanks to a little bit of Joyce mentioning from Bibs. But yes. Done enough stuffing in my time, lol, says Ads. Get out of here. Anyway, let's pick up the pace. We are coming up to an hour of content now, so let's pick up the pace. We've got a couple more articles to jump through. This one, do you know what? I actually was quite excited. Not excited. I was actually like pleasantly surprised by the look of this. And then as I actually delved into it a little bit more, I'm not so sure. But do you know what? Let's see what you guys think. Oh, no, that's just me putting the Cyberpunk title back on screen again. That's not what I meant to do. This by Matt Wales at Eurogamer says, there's a new Tomb Raider game launching next year, but... It's been 2 years since Lara Croft's last video game outing. Developer Eidos Montreal's Grim Trilogy capper, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and now... Finally, Square Enix is teasing Lara's long overdue return in the form of next year's Tomb Raider Reloaded. You might wish to immediately temper your expectations, however, given that it's a free-to-play mobile game. See, that's where it dropped for me. I thought, you know, okay, this is a reinvention of Tomb Raider. I can see it being a separate game. That's fine, but I didn't realize it was free to play mobile. Ooh. But anyway, Square shared its Tomb Raider Reloaded announcement. Yeah, exactly. Square shared its Tomb Raider Reloaded announcement news on Twitter, but offered little in the way of additional information regarding its new action arcade project, aside from it being the work of developer Emerald City Games, most recently responsible for free-to-play effort G.I. Joe War and Cobra, and Square Enix's London mobile team. Those absolutely desperate for additional details, however, do have the option of dissecting the 40-second long teaser trailer accompanying the announcement, which offers a dramatic slow-mo pan across some menacingly posed foes, including a wolf, rock monster, giant spider, and a T-Rex before settling on Lara herself, guns a-blazing. It unfortunately doesn't shed any additional light on Lara's newest adventure from a gameplay perspective, but we do get a good look at its chosen art style, which I'm going to describe as potentially divisive, and leave it at that. Next year, of course, marks the Tomb Raider series' 25th anniversary. Lara's debut outing, developed by British studio Core Design, having released back in 1996. So hopefully, today's Tomb Raider Reloaded news is only the start of Square Enix's birthday celebrations for one of video games' most iconic characters. Fingers crossed, it says. So the video that he's talking about, I do have open in a tab here. It's only 40 seconds long, so I can click play on this. So this is the Tomb Raider Reloaded teaser trailer. Damn, that just suddenly got loud. So there we go. Tomb Raider Reloaded coming to mobile 2021. So that the art style, when I said I was actually open to it, I know it's the thing that came to mind for me is probably the same thing that will come to mind for a lot of people, and that is it looks like Fortnite.
Yeah.
Which it does. That's what it instantly thought me of. Instantly reminded me of. Thought me of. But okay.
Words.
Yeah, I can proper word. Yeah, you couldn't spoke proper words like I used to could when I was a children. Yeah, no, it's the art style. I don't have an issue with. I actually don't mind it because whilst it's not Lara Croft and Tomb Raider that I know, the Lara Croft and Tomb Raider that I know also won't appeal to a lot of kids today. And I say kids because in 1996 I was 11, so I was a kid. I was Fortnite age when that game came out. That kind of game doesn't speak to 11-year-old kids these days. So I don't have an issue with them reinventing Lara Croft as a separate game while still keeping the Rise of the Tomb Raider series. I mean, I played the first one. I think I played the second one, but didn't really like it. And I didn't play the third one. I haven't played the third one yet. So that's my kind of game. Tomb Raider for me should be more like that. But I wouldn't be averse to them doing something in the Fortnite style, but doing it properly. I don't want them to just go, oh, it looks like Fortnite, so therefore it's going to win. Yeah, everyone likes the Fortnite. Let's do the Fortnites. No, that's not enough. If they've got a rhyme and a reason for doing that, that's fine by me. But then that instantly stopped when it came to mobile because that's where my dubiousness comes in. Have they just gone, mobile makes a shitload of money? Fortnite makes a shitload of money. Let's make a Fortnite Tomb Raider on mobile. Ha ha! If that is the decision behind it, then yeah, I'm not sure. I would like some knowledge on why they decided that the world at this point in time is ready for Tomb Raider Reloaded on mobile. What is the reason for that now? In the chat, Ad says, looks awful. Magic says, shut. So it's essentially poop. Or is it chocolate ice cream? Can't tell. Says meh. Mobile game. Ooh, no thanks, says Joystick Junkies. Immediately noticed more dislikes than likes. Exactly. I noticed that as well. So 1.3 thousand dislikes, 832 likes. So already almost 2-to-1 down in terms of dislikes to likes. Words are hard. You what?
I'm going to share something else on this.
Go on then.
They're obviously using the Unreal Engine. That's blatantly obvious. But this isn't going to be a battle royale. Let's just the Fortnite comparison is there only in what it looks like. In terms of everything else, it's not going to be anything like that. we did have a Tomb Raider Reloaded game about 15 years ago. No, more than that, surely at this point. I'm fairly certain we did anyway. But this, has anyone ever played Ocean Horn? Because
No,
way back when,
that's a default team from PES, isn't it?
so, Ocean Horn was basically a rip-off of the old Zelda type games. Graphically, this looks exactly the same as that, and it wouldn't surprise me if it was like Ocean Horn with the way that it is like a 3D top-down world, but with guns, because obviously it's Lara Croft. But yeah, this isn't good. This is going to be an adventure game. This is going to be an adventure game. Fair enough if it looks like Fortnite, and that's because you're obviously clearly using the same engine because it works at the moment. There's many games that are using the same engine, but this is going to be as far away, I think, from a battle royale type game that we're ever going to experience. But Ocean Horn was a phenomenal game, and it wouldn't surprise me if it went down that, because mechanically and thinking about the puzzles and the way that the game was, it probably would make sense to go down that with the same art style, but just Lara Croft and guns. But yeah, that's my 2 pence. The Fortnite is only there in comparison when it comes to how it looks, and I think the way that this game looks for a mobile game is the perfect way to make the game look, because it will appeal to more than just me and you who played the game way back in the 90s. This is for a completely different audience that want to try and get them in. I wonder how many people who were interested in how this game looks would play the rebooted ones that we've got over the last 6 years. I imagine probably not many. But it's a completely different audience that they're aiming this at. People who are hardcore Lara Croft fans or Tomb Raider fans will probably not play this game because of the way that it looks, because it's clearly appealing to a completely different demographic.
Yeah. Paul, thank you very much for the host, dude. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Iceman with 2 absolute knowledge bombs here. Closest thing to Fortnite on mobile you'll get right now. Way!
Great job.
And the other one, Ocean Horn, is Pleasure Horn when it gets wet. Pleasure Horn is a default team on PES, by the way. If you don't play PES, that's what it is. Turning my lights off and on to reset. There we go. Bosh. It looks like it's going to be a temple run style game. Do you know? I could see that. Which would instantly not make it my kind of game then. So I like the art style. So if I bring this back on screen, this freeze frame on Lara, that's 100% could be Lara using dual pistols in Fortnite. Looking at that right now, that could be a Fortnite character. The art style on it is not bad. The art style is really good quality put into that. The background, the shading, the lighting, the character definitely looks really good. That said, I'm not going to play it. If it's a free to play mobile game, it could be exceptional, but that's just not where I game. So that's it.
You know how it is.
Yeah. Bibby will play it, and we'll find out. There you go. So
I'll let you know.
I hope they use it though. The style and the assets and things. I mean, even just speak to Epic and get Lara Croft in Fortnite for your 25th anniversary. That's where you'll get a shitload of players playing the game. Job's good. Nice. Pleasure Horn, the pride of African club football. Apparently, I mean they are a ridiculously good football team. They always qualify for every international event ever. So yeah, geez. Jesus, the likes, the dislikes on the video, absolutely savage. Yeah, that was someone pointed that out a bit before. It's gone off the screen, so I can't see it. But yeah, 1.3k dislikes.
Not as bad as the Diablo one,
or the Call of Duty Advanced Infinite Super Biological Warfare thing. Yeah,
they were the two worst ones that I've seen. That Diablo one, I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen it. I'm sure they had to turn comments off on it because it was that bad.
And okay. Tito says, only mobile game I play is Marvel Strike Force. They're just exploitative licenses to print money. There are some exclusions, but most are low quality. Yes, there are some exclusions, but I agree. That's the thing. And mobile gaming is amazing because there's so much money in it, and there's so many different ways that you can succeed, so many new ways. And mobile it's unfairly painted as being shit, and I have a little bit of that because I've been burned so many times. But mobile has led to the battle pass sort of learnings and things that we have in video games now. That all kind of started in mobile. So mobile is the future. But as with any any ground that's been untreaded before, you could stand in anything when you're treading fresh ground. I mean, there's big steamy dog turds all over the place. The mobile gaming is finding a lot of those dog turds. It's also finding its way around them, but there is a lot more dog turds to be studied, and that has led to the licensing, exploitative licensing acquisitions. But then again, go back 20 years ago, you were getting that on console. Any new film came out, play the film version of whatever, and it was crap. Matrix, Matrix, amazing video game. No, not really. And then eventually you got Path of Neo, which was a bit better, but yeah. Transformers, so many horrendous video games along the way. So yeah, video games, go back to the 80s. Konami were churning video games out. Some of them were actually really good, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and all sorts of video movie tie-ins. That's where mobile is now, because it's quicker and easier to develop for. There are some amazing games and amazing systems on mobile. You just have to go through all the crap to get it as well. Do you not have phones? Blizzard are a mobile phone game company now. Konami's mobile games are better than their console games. Hey, it works the other way too. Who can forget the Super Mario Brothers film? I mean, that film was incredible. If you're trying to say that's a negative,
incredibly shit.
If you don't make me, I'm ready to swing. I'll take off my slipper and throw it at you. Don't you tempt me. I love that film. Anyway, move ahead. Let's move ahead. Final story of the day. For those of you that are looking for next-gen consoles, just looking at dates. Nice. Yeah, for those of you that are looking at next-gen consoles, what are you doing in 1 hour from now? If you're not busy, then maybe you want to get yourself set, because Currys will be selling more Xbox Series X and S consoles this Tuesday. That's today. This is written by Tom Ivan at VGC, and it says next-gen systems will be available from 1 p.m. on November the 24th. So that's 1 hour and 1 minute from now. UK retailer Currys will be selling more Xbox Series X and S consoles this Tuesday. In an email sent to customers, the retailer said fresh stock will be available online from 1 p.m. on November 24th. Xbox Series X and S pre-orders went live in September, and initial stock was quickly snapped up, leaving many fans unable to secure one of the new consoles for launch on November the 10th. Xbox Chief Financial Officer Tim Stewart has said Microsoft expects Xbox Series X and S supply shortages to continue until April 2021. Earlier this month, Xbox has experienced some platforms. Boss Liz Hammond acknowledged the shortage of Xbox Series X and S consoles at launch. Okay, this is just all the same stuff. Are they going back to the... No, that was it. Just that one line at the top, and then the rest just tells about the rest of it. Okay, well, there we go. So there you go. If you're after an Xbox Series X or S, prepare yourselves to be disappointed yet again, because there will be a very, very low amount of stock, but you have to be in it to win it. So Currys, in an hour from now, will have more stock online.
Apologies for those of you that are watching this on YouTube or listening to it in the car on the way home, because he would have already been and gone by then. But that's why you need to join us live, because we give you live feed shit.
Hopefully that's the right link. I've just cropped down the crap of the Digital Foundry deals link there. It says, here's the link you need to click at 1 p.m. Within that, and there's also a live countdown thing within that link as well. So if you want it, access it via that tweet there from Digital Foundry, and you can give it a shout. If you do go for it, though, do let us know. Do let us know if you try and if it's sold out, or if you manage to get one. Do let us know. Do let us know. I imagine there will be not enough supply to meet the demand. So if you are going to get there, you might want to get there bang on, hitting the refresh button at
3 minutes before.
Even that, though, it was probably one of those pages that won't go live until the actual split second. So as soon as your clock ticks over, you need to be on it then. That's when you need to hit refresh. But even that might not be enough. Yeah, good luck. Good luck. Take my sword, Graham, says Tito. That's what she said. eBay! Xbox, no thanks, says Ads. I'd rather play mobile. Way, banter. Xbox, the only place for the next Elder Scrolls. Oof. Good point, good point. Bibby's currently refreshing already. Bibby, it's an hour. Chill out, calm down. Shame it isn't my priority, says Iceman. I won't be trying until after Christmas now, says Tito. And David says the Mario Brothers film was that good that the joke of Mario being called Mario became in-game canon. Yeah, Mario and Luigi Mario, the Mario Brothers. That's why they're the Mario Brothers, because it's insane. I didn't realize that was just a joke that became canon. I thought that was actual thing. So there you go. Graham's just learned something today. On that bombshell. 58 minutes and counting to grab yourself an Xbox Series X and S, potentially from Currys in the UK today. If not, do you know what? There could be another batch before Christmas. I think there will be more in December, but even still, that I think by that point the demand will only be getting more and more serious as people will be averse to the scalpers, and the scalpers will be realizing that actually if we keep on scalping, then we can keep the price up. So yeah, it's gonna be horrendous before Christmas, but there is another opportunity to get them today. And that is the final bit of news for today. So thank you everyone for joining us for yet another episode of The Scoop. If you're watching this on YouTube, as Bibby mentioned, it's gone. It's gone. You're not going to get any of those Xboxes from there unless someone's done a cock up and there's a few left on site. Then fill your boots. But yeah, they've gone. They've gone. We're going to disappear. There will be no extra stream. It's Tuesday, so we don't do any additional streams on a Tuesday. We'll be back tomorrow with another episode of The Scoop, though, so that's nice. But before we do disappear, Bib,
yes,
is there anything you want to add?
Yes, there is. Again, thank you very much to Asim. I'm calling you out, boy, for sending over one of the news articles today. The reason I'm saying that is because the rest of you can if you really want to. There's two ways that you can do that. Find us on social media. It's at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media platforms. Second way, get into our Discord. There's an area in there called The Scoop. All you need to do is drop in the URL, add your thoughts and impressions. We will then give you our thoughts and impressions live. At what time tomorrow, Mr. Graham Day?
Live? Interesting. Oh, well, that'll be at 10 a.m. Ish tomorrow, as it is each and every single weekday. There you go. Asim with a very, very important and educational closing comment says, "Brat, brat." Thank you very much, Mr. T. I completely agree with that. The sentiment around it is incredible. Luke says, interesting how stores are taking advantage of the next-gen limited stock to generate social hype around themselves, putting in countdowns and everything. Yeah, exactly. That's it. If you've got something that people want, milk it is what Digital Foundry and Currys and everyone else are doing around it. So, yeah. Gary says, I have one I'm going to send you. What, an Xbox? Yes, please. Yes, please. Don't fall for Gary's porn links. No, don't do it. Okay. While Gary sends us the porn link, which we'll cover in tomorrow's news, we'll get set to end the show. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. ish. Twitch.tv/Uploads. Until then, stay frosty.
Frosty.